Hello, Aaron. How are you doing, my friend? Is the camera on, Bernadette? All right, let's start with a bit of a chat. What's put in the chat box there while we play a song here? What's new and exciting this past week? Has to be fun. Find something. It doesn't matter what it is. Put in the chats. What's new and exciting? Come on, got to be something. Cooler weather. The rain came. Connected with a long lost friend. Put something in the chats. Something that's exciting for you. Maybe you heard something on the news. Something happened to somebody else, which was uplifting and amazing. House painting project. I guess that's painting or painting. I guess you mean painting. Otherwise, it's a pain project going well. That's good. Painting. Thank you. All right. Well, there we go, man. Ah, wonderful. Something to look forward to. Yes, Monica's been traveling Oz. Oz, welcome home. Yeah, Monday. Heading to winter. Yeah. Time flies. March. Guys, it's March. Chatting to somebody yesterday and they said, no, but I can't do my training session with you because it's school holidays in 2 weeks. I said, school holidays already. Christina, my daughter's speaking to me. You know, she misses me in her life. Keep in your garden field. Ah, Christina. Huge blessings, man. Working on my journal. All right, thanks for sharing it. We've got a couple more people. Coach B from the UK. We got Rocky here. Coach B always comes on twice because he likes to listen to this in stereo. All right, I'm going to turn down the music. Let's stop the music for now. All right. Okie dokie. Hey, how's it, Coach B? You're looking very smart there, my friend. In the UK. Okie dokie. Now, we've got some wrapping up to do here. Working on my training. Knowing lots to do. Man, but it's good fun. This is not work. This is working on the training is India. I know. Okay. So, guys, this is now, hello, Bonnie. Welcome, guys. So this is now starting to pull together all these little strings and things that you've been doing over the last month and a half or more with me that we started in January. And if you're coming in here and going, well, I've missed one or two of them, I didn't do all the exercises, doesn't matter. It's all available for you. You do this at your own pace. Here's the thing. Do something. Just something. Do nothing, stay where you are. Do something, progress forward at your own space, at your own pace. So I'm going to come and I'm just going to share my screen here so that I can remain on par with what I'm meant to be doing. And hold on, I need to close a program here. Otherwise, we're not going to bring it up. Sorry, too many things open. I was with a client and didn't close my previous screen. So I've now lost. There it is. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, let's go. Okay. Continuing on from where we were, not here last week, but Ningi and Rev Ron gave some phenomenal updates on what's happening. And you're going to get some Q&A, a little bit of update after my time with you. You're going to get that from, oh, I'm doing the wrong thing here. From, hold on. I did this last time as well. From Doc C. Clinton, he's going to be catching up with you shortly. I'm having a technical moment here. I've lost your... Oh, this is fun. Sorry. I'm having technical. It's not technical. It's Tim issues. I think here. I think this is Tim issues. Sorry, I was with a client, and my screen sharing was different from what I do with you guys. So there. All right. Go. Now you should have a little thing up there that says recap. No, it doesn't say recap, but it will do now. There we go. All right, just give me a thumbs up, somebody that you can see that. I can't see your thumbs, so I'll take it that you can see it, and you'll tell me if you can't. Yeah, so we're going to go through a little bit of a recap here. Let me bring it all up. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Of where we've been at. So we started off with bridging the gap. That's your goal activation plan. This is that document that you should always have sitting there on the wall, on your desk, in front of you, which is your focus of helping you go from who you are now to who you want to be, and the gap being what you need to apply, things you're going to learn, what you need to do, change your thought processes in order to go from here to where you ultimately want to be. Then begins with knowing who you are and that analysis of speaking to people and finding out what are other people, how do other people describe you, and how do you believe you are. Then, and that's also how others see you as well. Then your values, and that's the big one. That's the big one. Did you just put a thumbs up in the chats here? Who's done the values principles with Dr. John Demartini online? Just put a thumbs up here in the, or a chat, because I can't see you. Just give me an indication, just by something in the chats, that you've done Demartini's value principles. If you have, just put a yes. Who's done that? It's a critical part of what we're doing here, guys. It's an online one. If I'll put in the, if you don't know it, I'll put it in the Telegram channel again. It's not yet. Okay, Coach B, thanks for telling me not yet. I appreciate your honesty. It's an integral part. Elizabeth, yay, well done. It's a free thing that Dr. John Demartini does. Please reshare. I'll do that. I'll put that link. So Dr. John Demartini taking you through 13 questions, 13 questions to identify what your personal values are. So this isn't a personality profiling, so to say. Those have got their own merits at their own time. We're looking at you in your life as opposed to in business. Elizabeth, yes. Bernadette, yes. Great, well done. So that this is an integral part of finishing the first stage of what we're going, call it chapter 1 if you want, of what we're talking about here. So if you're going to do anything today, what you are going to do, and you need to diarize this, guys, because it takes time. It will take you a good hour, hour and a half, but the information that you get from it is very vital in concluding what I'm taking you through. Allocate the time. Now, when I'm doing this with my clients, we actually physically sit together and do it. Now, I don't have the time with you. So you are going to need to schedule this in. Don't say, I can't find the time. We've all got 24 hours a day. You have to allocate the time. Put it in your diary. Diarize it. Put it in. So I'll share that link. Integral part. He's got videos. He'll explain everything for you on there. And it's free. Now, Demartini is, without question, from my perspectives, the master in understanding, help people understand their true values. He's been doing it for over 50 years. This guy should have some stuff. Then the last one was your voids, which is a very challenging one and is an interesting one of introspective analysis, going back in time, going back into your history, going back and taking yourself, well, where are my gaps? What was something missing in my earlier life? And some people understand that quite easily. Others have to dig a little bit. What we're doing today is we're now combining all of these different things and putting it together to start to fit that pieces of these different puzzles together to get a picture for you, with the end result being that you'll have a purpose statement. Purpose statement I'll explain for you just now. So I provide the information, or I guide you and give you a map, a road, a journey. You've got to go on it. I'm not going on it for you. Somebody can't go on. I'm not going to have somebody go on holiday for you, on a road trip for you. You are needing to do it. And you're here for a reason. There we go. DeMartini, content values. Thanks, Coach B. Appreciate you, mate. Yeah, now you have no excuse to not do it. There you go. All right. There's a statement up here that I've pulled from an amazing book, Eckhart Tolle. Ooh, I've misspelled Tolle. Sorry, it's not got a T on the end. The Power of Now. If you haven't read that book, it's a book that I've had for many, many years. It's quite a complex read. And when I first read it, I did not get it. But as I've gone on a very in-depth personal development journey, I've started to understand a lot more of what it means to live in the now. And here's a statement that I pulled from here. Your primary task is not to seek salvation through creating a better world, but to awaken out of the identification form. What does this mean? Well, this is what it means to me. This is my personal interpretation of it. It's not my job or duty to create a better me. When I focus on creating a better me, it is my job or my duty to create a better me. When I focus on creating a better me, then I'm able to positively impact those around me and so then impact the world. The form I identify with is my past, which may not be my true me. So I need to work on me, on who I am, who I want to become, in order to be able to be a better version of me to service others. So the first task is not creating a better world. It's to awaken out of this form of identity that I gave myself due to my past experiences, teachers, programming, government, indoctrination, all this other nonsense that then goes and creates a false persona. But it's to find out who it is that I actually am, to awaken out of this. Find me, be the best version of me, focus on self-awareness, self-care. Then, through my own realization, to work with others, to help others. This is the process I refer to as creating, well, this is Dr. John, this is Joe Dispenza, actually, creating a new personality in order to have a new personal reality. That's what we're doing here today. We're going to do some Q&A as well. Okay, so this is a wrap up. This is the plan. This is the strategy that you're all going through at the moment. Bridging the gaps of who you are, identifying who you are, the voids, your values, to the purpose statement, which is where we're going to end on today, how you want to live your life. And then it's a matter of complete reevaluation on an ongoing basis. This is not something which you do once and leave forever. You're going to review it. The values you perhaps review every 6 months. The gap filler, which is that education, the skills, and becoming the who. Now that who, once you identify who you are or who you'd like to become, again, can move and change over time. So this means complete recapping over an ongoing basis. So this is the sheet. I'm going to share this with you. Well, you can write it out yourself. You're welcome to take a screenshot of it. Is the combined results. We're now taking your values, your voids, and who you are, those key words, 3 of each. It says 10, I'll talk about that now, or 5, I should say. All what we're looking to is taking the results of these different exercises, putting it on one table, the main words, remember each of them, when your values, you're looking for 3 or 5, your top words that relate to you, your voids, the top things that we're missing, who you are, the top descriptions of what other people or you feel, those adjectives, those words, and putting them together. So for each of the 3 exercises, I'm going to read from the top here, you write the top 5 words. You start with the values, that's the DeMartini one. Then you add in the voids, and then you add in the who. And the exercise of determining who, it's not always an easy process, right? And everybody's unique in what they're doing. You list your top 5 values as the benchmark. So those 5 values, the top 5, you write there. And then you're going to take your voids and you're going to overlap it. So where you're looking for similarities in the wording, and I'll share you with mine now. You're looking for similarities in the wording. For example, let's say that one of your top values is family, for example. Okay? In your voids, one of the key things that you were missing in your childhood, perhaps, was an absent parent. So again, could be family. So then next to number one on values, you next to number one under values, you've got family, under voids, you've got family. And who you are, maybe what people have identified you, the one of the top key areas of who you are is where people say you are a strong family or community man, or you've got strong strength, you've got strengths with your family connection. So again, you're going to write family. So then you can clearly see one of your main primary areas of true inner wisdom, knowledge, love, passion is family. Perhaps it's business. So you're looking for the similarities, but it starts with your values. You write your values first. That's why the DeMartini exercise is paramount in this working for you to get that picture. So you fill in your values for your top 5 values, and then you go to your voids, and it doesn't matter what order they were. Maybe number 3 on your voids was number 1 on your values, but you then put it to number 1. So you're always benchmarking them against your values. Okay? But you'll find a pattern. If you find that you've got words in your voids which are not part of your values, then put them underneath 6, 7, 8, or 9. So still have it tabulated, because as you're doing it out, you may find, but hang on a second, there is a connection. But only when you start writing it out will you actually start to see the connection. I'm just quickly going through my notes here. If you're finding this a little bit confusing, it may very well be because you haven't done your values, or you haven't been able to identify your voids as yet. Okay, so then you need to go back and do those. Okay, so once you've done all of these exercises and you're finding that there's a mismatch, that hang on a sec, but I'm not finding a connection between my voids and my values, or my values stand out all on their own, but what people identified me as, the who you are, is not comparison. What you may need to do is then go back and dig deeper. This is not meant to be an easy exercise. This is meant to be an extremely emotional exercise. And it can take quite a while to sit and go through it. And the reason why you're doing it is you're looking for that guiding light. You're looking for, how do I break out of my stress? How do I move forward? What is it that, why when I do this, does it fail? What am I really passionate about? What is my true purpose? All these questions, which often can send us down, without having the answer, can send us down the wrong path. Okay? If you know my story, you'll know where I'm coming from that as well. So you may need to go back and redo the values, or reevaluate your voids and go, okay, I need to go and sit deeper. I need to meditate on it, pray on it, sit in the corner, sit quietly, journal. Journaling, amazing. Somebody said journaling earlier on. I think it was Joyce. Or going back and having a look at the exercise you did of who you are and dig deeper. Because there is always a comparison. There is always a flow. And if you haven't found it, dig deeper. Okay? All right. So I've been through. Let me just check that. Yeah, so if you find that there's a conflict of your number 1 void and your number 1 values, adjust the voids and the who you are, but your values stay the same. That's your benchmark. You're not changing the order. What came up highest and your values stays highest on this, so 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. And ask yourself, when I have a choice between the 1st and the 2nd of my values voids, which fits most commonly demonstrated in my life? So if you're looking at the voids and you're seeing that your number 1 void and your number 1 values are different, identify the most common one demonstrated in your life. And that's where you start with the values. And then you do the same for the 2nd and the 3rd as well. Okay. You've probably got questions on this. And if you've got questions on this, I would then ask, before answering any questions on it, which we'll open up to some Q&A just now. Our first question I ask is, have you done all of the exercises? The answer is no. You need to go back and do it to get understanding. If the answer is yes, let's open up the mic just now. Where do you go from here? You're going from here as in what's next is working out or writing out what is known as a purpose statement. Now, in business, you have value statements, and you also have purpose statements in business. But here we're looking at you and yours, where this describes the overarching reason why you do what you do and how you conduct yourself and the impact you have on others. You're going to do this through clearly identifying your top 3 values, assigning meaningful word to each of them. So once you've clearly got that and you're starting to see there's a pattern, you're creating a word aligned to that. So one adjective that describes that. And then you're writing it into a sentence that demonstrates this in your life. This takes time to write a purpose statement. I think when I did mine, it changed, I don't know, a dozen times before it felt meaningful and it was representative of my life, not what I want my life to be like in the future, but represents my life now. And as you grow, your purpose statement grows, changes. As your life changes, as your values adapt and change and grow as you do. Okay. So, let me see. Okay. When I did this exercise and I combined everything together, my 3 highest values, and you tell me if you've ever seen these in my life. My 3 highest values, self-development or knowledge. That's growth. Health, but not only health physical, health mental, health spiritual, and health physical. And then business. Business is not only about making money, it's also business opportunities, business ideas, it's business growth. These are my top 3 highest values. So I take these and I write out let's see if it comes up next. Yes. I then put this into a statement, and my statement is my guiding light. Here's the reason why a purpose statement is such an essential part of my life, and I'll talk from my personal experience, and also clients that I've helped take them through this process, is it's your beacon, your lighthouse. Once you understand your values, you understand who you are, you understand what makes you tick and why you do this versus not doing that. Perhaps you do know already, but it's going to ingrain it deeply in you. Anything that I do is aligned to my purpose statement. If I'm doing something and I'm now procrastinating on it, it's back to Demartini again. Probably find it's not valuable to me. It's not of value to me. It may have value, but it's not mine. And that's where you change your purpose for doing it, your reason why you're doing it, you outsource it, or you just cancel it completely. And I've shared my story before on that. Go to the values, go to the recording of the values one to hear it. So this is then the beacon. Oh, too far, too fast. This is my personal purpose statement. I learn, I disseminate, I exemplify and share my life's knowledge through my lifestyle of adventure and travel, inspiring others to take action towards living their life purpose. So it doesn't have to have every single word, but within there, to me, self-development is where I'm learning. I break down, I live, exemplify, I show it in what I do. I'm not going to show and teach and guide and anything that I'm not doing. I'm always going to exemplify it. And then I share it, but I also live it in my life. And my key hot buttons for my health is adventure and travel. I've connected that in there because to me, I am the healthiest, the most awake, the most alive, the healthiest spiritually, intellectually when I'm traveling. I love it. And then the business is all built into there because then it's all about the sharing. The sharing is my business. That's what I've chosen to do. And the end result is inspiring others to take action based upon what I'm sharing. So that becomes my purpose statement. And if I come across an opportunity or something or a direction or an angle and I look and I go, well, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? I go, well, is this aligned to my purpose statement? No, it's not. It's outside of this. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because then you'll get stressed. Then you'll get anxiety. Then you get procrastination. Yes, maybe it's got more money, but we know we're not chasing the money. And if you're still chasing the money, you need to go back. The money is the end result. So if it's aligned to my purpose statement, I'll do it. If I don't know anything about it, I'll go and learn it. If it's along my purpose statement, and that's again the gap. I hope that's been helpful. And as I said, I'll repeat it again. If you're confused, first question is, have you done the exercises? And if you've missed one, go back and finish them, and then start putting it together. Once you've got a purpose statement, and please, it takes time. There's not a quick fix or anything like that. The next one is, are you ready to uncover your why? Not your dream and your goal, your deep-seated reason. What drives you? What is that big thing that's inside? And here's what I know. And I think there's a couple of people on the call, I must have a look, who's done 7 levels deep with me already. If you've done 7 levels deep, just put a yes or a thumbs up or something in the chat, as this is part of the process of helping you uncover what really drives you deep down inside. How do the 5 key areas fit into the whole program? Arend, have you done all of it? Let me just stop sharing here quickly. I did. There we go, Festina. Yes, I remember our chat on that. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I'd say 80 more, 90% of people that I take through the stages or the steps of 7 levels deep for the why uncover something that they never knew, that they'd never verbalized before. You know it's there, but it's never come out consciously, verbally, and then that's a massive move. But we're going to cover that at a later time. So Aaron asked the key question here. He said to me, how do the 5 key areas fit into the whole program? So Aaron, open your mic. Break that question down for me if you're up to it, my friend. I know you like talking, so I know I can call on you.
One of the first exercises we did on the Saturday, the 13th of January, all right, was looking at your 5 key areas of focus. Okay. Now, the way I see it, it obviously falls into the whole program. Okay. Because if you look at each thing, but where do you start? Do you start at your goals, or do you start at your why?
Okay. So that very
so you get everything into a sort of step-for-step progress. So you don't get yourself totally confused and befuddled.
Okay. Good question. Not all of the exercises that you've done go towards your values, your finding your top 3 values and your purpose statement. So that first exercise you're talking about was your perception of who you are now, right? So once you'd put down who you thought you were, who you would like to be in a year's time, or whatever the timeline was. And then you ask the people around you, how do they see you? It's not who you think you are now that comes out of the value statements. Because typically, if you go and have a look and you've done all the exercises, and have you done DeMartini's? Okay. So once you've done DeMartini, that's the question that I was going to ask you straight away, is have you done all of them? Once you've done DeMartini's, you will very likely find that those first questions you answered about who you thought you are and what your values come out at are different. Because very often, who you think you are is pre-programmed. It's who you were told you are. You were told to do this profession. You went into that. You followed your parents. I don't know, for me, I had a counselor at school, ridiculous age, who said, go into hospitality or broadcasting. And I went into hospitality. Who the hell knows at the age of 14 or 13 or whatever it was, with a counselor at school can tell you that nonsense. So who you are is often this persona that you've lived out, but that doesn't necessarily mean who you are here. So we're moving from the intellect part, which is what you first wrote, and you're going deeper You want to find out inside your heart truth, your gut truth. Doesn't come from here. So if you find, so that's why that first exercise where you put down who you believe you are and who you would like to become doesn't even fall into this. Because once you've done this, you can then go back and compare it and you go, wow, hang on a sec. That's who I thought I was, but this feels right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it answer your question?
It has answered, and yes, I know I've been re-looked at all the past week's presentations. Okay?
Wonderful.
And obviously from this week, I will actually redo my goals, starting there, just set them one side, and then I'll start building on each exercise, one at a time.
Don't worry about your goals. Don't worry about personal goals.
No.
No,
Okay.
we're not talking, I've not spoken about personal goals anywhere down here. Not interested.
So,
Not
so
interested.
you leave that. So you leave that out. You leave that out completely.
Leave personal
Okay.
goals to the side completely.
Okay. All right. That's
Yeah?
fine.
Because often
That was part of my confusion as well. Okay.
Leave it. I haven't spoken about personal goals. I don't.
No?
Personal goals in my entire program is month 4, not month 1.
Okay. All right. Understood.
Right. And there's a key reason for that, because your goals at the end are different from what you believe they are. And that's one key reason why you haven't achieved your goals yet. It's because you're after the wrong thing. You just don't know it.
Because
You don't know.
one of the
that's what it's
things
about.
one of the things I've struggled with many years, okay, in goal setting is how to do that. Right?
Don't worry about that. You see, again,
yeah,
I don't.
I'm just saying, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it is, you keep on getting told to set your own goals, okay? But you keep asking yourself the question, how do you do it? All right? And everybody says, oh, just write out a few and then you follow it. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. No, there's a reason why it doesn't work. There's
I've now seen
a lot, and we'll get there. We'll get there.
I've now seen why, and I really appreciate the time you are actually giving to the community to do this. Really, I do, because it's actually given me such insight. Yeah? And if people don't see the value of this thing, well, we're all different. Let me just put it that way.
Exactly. And I think that's a key point. Thanks for sharing, Aaron. Thanks for asking the question as well. Even though you knew the answer was do Demartini's exercise, everybody in their own space at their own time. So if you're on this call and you're like, something was planted, a seed, maybe in a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year time, you'll be ready. Everybody in their own place at their own time. What I now learn and what I'm going through a year ago made no sense to me. So if I was presented what I'm doing and learning now a year ago, it wouldn't have connected. But now it does. So everybody in their own. But you're here for a reason. And even if you're not completing everything now, I hope there's some small gain and some small questions that you're starting to ask yourself. Because this does tie back to power gifting. It does tie back to your traditional business. It does tie back to the job you have. All of it does. If you're chasing something for the wrong reason, you're not going to get there. Not going to get there. I'm going to tie it all back, but it takes a moment. You've got to sometimes go slower to go faster. Because when you want to jump from here to the end, I want to jump from here to having introduced 50 people and have 25 legends so that I can be one of the first people. But you're going from here and you say, I want to be over there. But you're not following the journey to get there. You're not following Sandra and Coach B's training on Tuesday, or jumping in with Festina and the amazing work she's doing with the community of putting herself out there and saying, hey guys, who wants to come and join me to crack this? If you're not doing those steps along the way, you're not going to get there. The same process here. Ties in. And as you do it, you'll start to realize. Any other questions, guys? You've gone quiet because the answer to the question is, have you done all the exercises? And the answer is no. So go back and do the exercises, and then you see and then meaningful for you. Okay, so I'll put this out to you. Here's a thought, an idea. For the first two people, because it takes time. For the first two people that do all the exercises and will share them with me, I'll help you do your purpose statement. Only for the first two, because that's a good hour and a half. Right? So the first two people that have completed all of them, and you're going to have to show me the results of it, because I need it anyway to help you work your purpose. I'll put it out to you that I'll then one-on-one sit with you and go through to make sure your values, the three key words are aligned, and start working with you on getting your value statement. There we go. How can I do that? I offer it once, and it's up to you, the first two people, to DM me and say, I've got it. And then we'll set up a time, we'll talk. And if you haven't, I'll send you on your way, and I'll go to the next person. Catch up, so go back and do all the exercises. Come back. It's worth it. There's a reason why I'm sharing it. It's something that I've done, and I take people through, and I've seen the value of it tremendously. All righty. Oh, and if when I connect with you, I send you back to do something, there's a reason for that. Love it. Thank you all very much for listening to me. I do love sharing and appreciate you being here. I see the same guys on all the time. For those who have missed some of it before, those recordings are all there. They're all on YouTube. Now, where do I put these? YouTube, yes, but they're also on the Telegram channel. You can go to the recordings there. Thanks, Shups. And pick them up from there and go through it. What I take you through in half an hour, because I'm going to hand over to Dr. C just for some updates quickly. What I take you through in half an hour is sort of like a fire hose version of what I take my clients through over a couple of hours. So you do need to take this and spend your own time on it, but I'm giving you enough information that you can take this and do it in your own time. There's nothing missing. I'm not holding anything back. And the little key, oh, Tim didn't tell me. No, you've got it all. You've got it all. Okay. All righty. So for those who are saying, why can't I still register people? I've got 50 waiting, but I'm losing them. And what's going on and what's happening? Just a quick update, because there's a lot. Thanks, Dr.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much, Tim. I think, the value that we are getting on these Saturday morning trainings is simply, amazing. It's above what I expected personally, but I can really see the hard work and the value, working with training, teaching, and all these things myself. I know the amount of work that goes into just preparing this, making sure you check yourself first, and you go through this stuff 3, 4, 5 times just to make sure it's correct and it aligns, and the thought pattern stays consistent, etc. So it's a lot of work that goes into what Tim is doing. And I want to say, Tim, we appreciate you and appreciate your time, your effort, and the value that you are bringing to the power gifting community. This is gifting on another level, guys. And I think we need to just celebrate Tim for giving us these gifts that he's doing on a Saturday morning training. So sincerely, God bless you, Tim, really, for what you're doing. Then some updates. I spoke to the developer earlier this morning. I've checked, things are all in place, but hold on, hold on. He's just checking phase 3 quickly. Phase 1, phase 2 is all in place. He's just checking phase 3 quickly. So I'm certain that when we come online, the phase 3 should be online too, with the rules, etc., in place for people that qualifies to go over to phase 3. That should be in place. We'll have to test it as it happens. So I think that is awesome, amazing news just to have from development side. However, when he is done with the uploads, I'm first going to have to check the emails. If the emails are working, everything is coming through properly. I'm going to have to do some registrations, test profiles and stuff like that. So I please want to ask you, don't be in a hurry. Just allow me just to do the checks and balances first before anybody tries to go in and register anybody. Okay? Let me do what I need to do. And once I'm confident that everything is in order and working well, I will open it up to the community. I'm not going to give you a time, but know that we are very, very close to saying, let's go for it. So the developer is confident, everything, all the glitches is taken out of the system. We shouldn't have any challenges on the system. It's been a whole redo. That's why it's taken so long. But we should be at a very, very good place once we open up the registrations again. Just don't be in a hurry. That's my plea, my request. Let me just do the checks and balances first to make sure it is what it is. And once I'm confident, I will do the announcement to say that we are open with logins and registrations. So just hang tight for us. The update will come onto the Telegram group. Thank you so much. That's it from my side.
Great stuff. Appreciate that update, and also appreciate the thanks from, and I'm just going to share on behalf of the community. Thank you for all the effort and time. Guys, he's spending hours a day with this programmer, and everything the programmer does, Dr. C's got to go in and check it. He's got to go and verify it. And that's why he's going to ask you once the system, and it's not going to be announced, it'll just go live for him to work on. I'm going to announce it. We'll only announce it once he's checked it, because we want to make sure that the live program is 100% correct. So he's already tested it on the back. Once it's up live, he wants to go through to make sure we don't want these little nickels, glitches, issues again. So I give him time on that and respect everything, that all that effort that's going through. Because again, the amount of time that Dr. C is gifting to everybody is huge, guys, huge. He's got his own businesses and families that he's got to keep running and ticking over as well. And I look forward to getting going, and then we're going to create something interesting. Once we're going, then we're going to say, right, guys, now where are we going with this? Because now the community is climbing in. Let's move forward. Let's open up to Q&A. This is your chance. Open mic for those who are here live. Wonderful. What would you like to ask? Is it something you want to cover? Something I've spoken about today, but you know the answer to the first question. And over to you guys. Anything that's on your mind? Coach B, you've always got something to say. I know you do. As you do.
Actually, I don't have much to say today.
Wow, man.
I just really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Hope you got some feedback. Okay, well, we're here for you. Let's get the system live. And Arend.
I think with the system coming out live, I'm sure there will be a lot of changes and additions and things like that. Maybe we should do a pre-presentation or something like that of what's changed and what's happening. So to put the mindset for the community. Just a thought.
Brilliant idea. Yep. Once we're live and we're going, then we will most definitely do that. There's no point in doing it before.
Okay.
From when we're live, then we'll open up. Then we'll have a Zoom for it, whether it's during the week, Saturday, whenever it works. we'll definitely do is take the community through and do that, because there'll also be a few tweaks and changes on some of the training videos, which I can't update and do until the system's live. There we go. Dr. C saying, yep, we'll definitely be doing back office training. So that's coming up without question. So we just got to get the system live first, and then we'll operate from it live. 100%. Yeah. And I know that's when there's going to be questions as well. So until then, ladies and gents, wherever you are in the world, mostly South Africa, have a wonderful weekend. Stay glued to Telegram. Let's see you all on Monday. Oh, on Monday, it's meant to be, of course, we're in March, Power Hour, but unlikely, we might have to, I'll chat with Dr. C, postpone it for a week. I know we didn't do Power Hour in February. Not a lot to speak about, but we would still like to do that to show you guys numbers and the status of things. I'll chat to him about postponing it for a week, because he's still not going to have the reports. Normally it takes him a couple of days. Plus, we've not been operating for a month, so there's not much to report on. So we'll come back to you on that. So Monday is most likely to be standard presentation, and it's time to invite guests, guys. The numbers on Mondays have dropped, which I understand. Let's go live, get the people onto the live presentation, and we go run from there. Have an awesome weekend, everybody. Thank you for being here. And if you're listening to the recording, come here live. It's more fun.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you so very much.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank
Tim.
you.
Cheers.
Cheers, cheers.
Thank
Bye.
you.